Well, it might only be Thursday at 5 o'clock, but the secret of this time of year is to get everything, well, as much as you can ready as early as possible. So you might remember a few weeks ago we went to a little village called East Malling. Well, where we've gone today, we've gone to West Malling. The only problem with this car park is that I could tell by Google Maps there was only one part of it which was flat, which is that bit over there. And the issue we have is that there's a couple of DPD vans parked in there, and judging by the looks of them, they're going to be there for a while. So I'm hoping that the white car at the end moves, because the car parking spaces here are very narrow, and funnily enough, that's actually the one review of this car park on Google, is someone complaining about how narrow the spaces are. But they're right, because actually there's not enough room for me to park anywhere down there, even though there's 3 spaces. So I think what I will do, I'm not going to set the car up, I'm not going to do anything. I think what we'll do is go for a little walk while we've still got a bit of daylight, and we'll go from there. Slight change of plan. When I walked past the car parking spot, I could tell the space was more than sufficient for me to squeeze into. So we are here and we are set up. And I quite like the fact that I'm right in the corner. There's nothing, oh, you can't see, there's nothing over there other than the back of someone's house. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put these blackouts on, then at least the car is all ready for when I get back later. this is the other main car park in West Malling, and to be honest, Mrs. Hoppes told me it was quite a busy car park, and you can tell it is because it's right behind Tesco's basically. West Malling itself is quite small, but it does have a country park here called Manor Country Park. Now I'm pretty sure this isn't one that I've been to before, so what I think I'm going to do now is take a little walk around. I'm not sure how much I'm going to be able to show you because, as you can tell, it is starting to get a little bit dusky. We are certainly entering the time now where the nights are getting darker and darker, earlier and earlier. And actually it was this time last year where I had to start taking annual leave just so I would get somewhere and it would still be daylight. Now at the moment it's still okay. I finished at 4 o'clock today and there's still just enough daylight to actually see something when I get here, which is good for me and of course good for you. I saw a sign back there for an attraction called Leonard's Tower. So I think what I might do is head off down there and see if we can get there before the sun completely goes in. Well, we might have made it to the tower, but as you can tell, I've got my flashlight on and that is the only way you're going to be able to see me because it is definitely dark. And I think time to head back. I'm definitely pleased to see there was a lot of cars in the car park. Hopefully they'll still be here overnight, much like the DPD ones over there. Mainly because the more cars you have in a car park, then the less chance you're going to have of boy racers coming around. So I know you're dying to know, did I take the socks with me? Yes, I did. They're in the box down there. But even though it doesn't feel that cold tonight, actually it feels quite mild again, what I'll probably do is still put the socks on and put them on the very lowest setting overnight, because it'll be useful to see and to show you how well the battery packs actually last. I'm hoping they would last at least one whole night of being on the lowest setting, but that can be our test for the day. Or the night, because it's the test for the night. Well, though it's 7:30 and normally by now I've had my dinner already, I think what I'm going to do tonight is I'm going to finish that coffee and then I might have a little lay down because I feel quite mellow and chill, so I might have myself a little 15-minute power snooze. Something I always find funny about when I go car camping in places like this is that when I walk along the high street and I smell the smells from the pubs and the restaurants, it is the only time I ever feel like going to a pub on a Friday night. I mean, we used to always go out on Fridays and Saturdays when we were younger, but nowadays we don't really have any interest in that type of stuff anymore. We're more Saturday night front room drinkers. But the weird thing is, as much as I say that, you know what? Being here in my car in the corner of a car park, I think I will enjoy far more than going into a pub. I suppose as it's almost 9 o'clock, I should really get on with some food now. So I'm rather happy to say that I actually went for my first run yesterday. It was only 2 miles, but considering I've run nothing for 5-6 weeks, I am extremely happy to have even done that. So yes, the fact we have started running again, long may that continue. Ugh, mango sauce. Disgusting. People come back to their car. It's actually not too bad at all. This is a pot noodle Malaysian curry infusions. Well, I think we have reached the time now where I put the socks on. No, you had the sexy sock removal last time. So I was talking earlier on about the Well, I mentioned earlier how at this time of year, when the nights start to draw in, that there's actually less for me to show you on car camps because it's dark and I can't really see anything. But actually, you know what? What tonight is reminding me is actually the plus side of that. And the plus side of that is that I actually spend more time in the car. And I think one of the biggest reasons why we like car camping is actually the solitude of being in your own little space. I mean, I'm completely sealed off from the outside world. In theory, no one knows I'm sitting in here. And actually, it's just really nice and calming. Well, before I go to bed, I wouldn't mind seeing how many cars are actually left outside now, because it is as good as midnight. So I don't want to open up the side door to look, but I can kill the lights and pull the blackout down. Well, I think it's quite hard for you to see, but there are definitely a few cars still here, so that's good. And with that, it's time to put the batteries in these socks and then go to kip. So I will see you all in the morning. Well, good morning and welcome to what is still a rather wet west morning. And I'm sure the first thing you want to know tonight is, how did the socks do? Well, I had them on the lowest setting. I put them on at about midnight. And I would say by about 7 o'clock this morning, thereabouts, the batteries were both dead. Now, were they any good? That's the biggest question. Well, put it this way, I noticed when the batteries ran out, I could feel the coldness. So, even on the lowest setting, they were actually very good. I mean, the car wasn't massively cold last night, I would say, but just having that little bit of heat was just enough to take it off. Now in terms of the vest, I didn't actually need that last night because it wasn't cold enough to use it, but I did use it this morning for half an hour whilst I was watching Full Transit Connect Camper's latest video. Go watch that, he's rather cool, his stealth camping on the Norfolk coast in Storm Babette. But as for last night, well, it was exactly as I thought it would be. It was fantastically quiet. I mean, I literally heard nothing. And if there's one thing I always say, almost without fail on every car camp, is that this always happens. And you know what? That would probably be my thumbnail. This always happens. But it's true, it does always happen. It is so rare for me to find a bad park up. So what I didn't say yesterday is how I found this park up. So this was another one that I found using Google Maps, and then using the Ringo app I then found out how much the car park cost and the restrictions. But yeah, it was another fantastic spot. It was so quiet. And that leads me into this week's comment question. Where is the best place you've ever car camped at? That's the bed made. Now I need some coffee and possibly some porridge. And just like that, that's the most important part of the day sorted. Ah, kettle hot, kettle hot. We're safe to say this would be the breakfast equivalent of my car camping pot noodle. I don't really do breakfast when I go car camping an awful lot, but I do like to keep a porridge in the box in case I ever do. Of course, there's me quite happily getting ready with all my windows off down the side. Forget a car can still park next to me. What we're going to do is pack away all the car, get rid of the rubbish, finish my coffee, and then I think we might take a little walk in the rain to the other part of the high street, because I can't remember if there was much to see down the other part of the high street. And that's it, the car's all sorted, so let's go for a little wander. And it's safe to say the sun has certainly come out for us. There's not much down this part of the high street, it's just the end of the high street. So what actually I need to start doing on my car camps is what I always used to do, and that was going for a run in the morning. You look at this, so I've just literally taken a sidestep off the residential path and we are in the rather awesome Kent countryside. So I think the plan is now I need to head back to the car and get home. So I will see you back at the car in a second. That's a bit dark, isn't it? I hope you've enjoyed my little trip to the village of Westmoreling. I've certainly found it intensely relaxing, and the weather this morning has been a perfect little end to the trip. So until next time, take care. Do you remember when I used to do the 100% retention club?